What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lamecast. I am your host, as
Aaron.
always.
You're Aaron, and you're Anthony. And that's Dez.
We don't change. Me and you don't change.
I'm Anthony.
Yeah, I am Aaron.
Yes, you are.
I am Anthony James Potter.
That's not true. That's
Father
not true at all.
of Harry Potter.
It's not a personality trait.
Also, his name is not Anthony.
I don't give a fuck what his
name
I don't care what
His
Harry's
name was James
is.
Potter.
Liking Harry Potter is not a personality trait. Liking The Office is not a personality
Nope.
trait. Disney is not a personality trait. And your fucking dog is not a personality trait. And not all you bitches hike.
None of them do, to be honest with you. Have you seen them? But anyway.
Just saying.
But, no, I mean, okay, if we're going to talk about that, I think liking things doesn't necessarily deem a personality trait, but you could have some kinship with someone else who likes something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse. Like, what do you think is your strongest personality trait? Well, Disney. Like,
I
no.
watched The Office.
Yeah, look at that. Cool. That show sucks.
My,
Parks and Rec is better.
my
Yeah, I
strongest
agree.
personality
Parks and Rec is
trait, it would probably be my dry humor.
Yep.
And my
Yeah.
and also my flabbergasted humor. Just my humor. I don't have anything else to me but humor.
Yeah, that's really all
I have no tone and voice unless
Yeah,
it's
you
for
do.
humor's sake.
I could call you for movie trivia if I ever needed someone.
yeah.
Oh, we want to see some personality from Anthony. I think fucking Bruce Campbell's a wildly overrated actor in every
You go
movie he's ever
fucking
been in. Every movie he's ever been in should probably just be thrown in a
block-headed, squinty-eyed, failed human being bastard.
Oh.
I'm not squinty-eyed.
Yeah, you are. Look at those squints and those bags under your eyes.
It's
You
just
depressed, block-headed fuck. How dare you say that about my boy, Bruce? Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Well, I had one idea, but this is way more fun. And let me tell you something about Kurt Russell.
Fuck you.
I mean,
Let me tell you
Russell's
so, my
not the best.
bestest friend. You can tell we all
Anyways.
love each other so much here at Lamecast.
You don't like Kurt Russell.
Are you trying to crack your neck, or are you just having an aneurysm
I
over
think
there?
he's having an aneurysm because I said Kurt Russell's not the best.
That's how.
Escape from New York, more like Escape from this fucking theater from this awful movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like Escape from New York,
That was a
really?
great movie, but fuck Kurt Russell.
Yeah, so fuck you. Pussy. Fuck you. I know you like the actor. That's the thing. I know you like him, so I know that just saying it is heresy, and I should burn you at the stake, you fucking witchy woman. But
Listen to that non-monotone voice.
God. All right. Anyways, what are we watching? What are we talking about?
I'm just like, fuck.
What are we watching? It's not movie night.
It's not movie trivia night. Shit.
Speaking of which, I do have a new movie.
What is
I
it?
bought that movie Trick. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Oh, I heard
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I
one.
heard it was pretty good. I almost bought The Lighthouse today, but I didn't.
Why didn't you buy that movie
Because,
that you
Anthony,
cream your
I
pants
was
over when you think about it?
God, I saw it twice in 1 week in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we went, what? It was like 4 days apart that we saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. was
Because I
pissed.
had to do the
That's a lot of
adult thing today and buy like a knife set and a hamper and like plates.
Yeah, but why did you buy Trick and not buy The Lighthouse?
Well, I bought Trick like a couple days ago.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the reason why. Because
What's up,
you
Joe?
bought it a
What's
couple
up?
days
Can I
ago.
Jojo,
help
get
you?
down.
Jojo wants to be a lap
that's
dog.
your
trying to-
paw
he's
on
trying
my
to climb
on my
up.
junk.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
All right, so we talked about it in the last cast. Which serial killer you would preferably deal with? Not which one do you think you could survive? Because I could easily just be like Jeffrey Dahmer, because like he'd be like, "Yo, you want to come back to my place?" I'd be like, "No."
I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Simple as
Yeah,
that. I've sidestepped that landmine. But if you had to pick a serial killer to deal with, like he's
Yeah.
after you or whatever it may be, or she, don't want to upset anyone.
Yeah.
Statistically, it's more men,
Who
though.
would you?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Who
More
would
white
you?
men.
Who would you go with?
Okay.
I can tell you which one would make me the most mad if I was dealing with them. Eileen Warnos, because I'm thinking I'm getting some ass,
Yeah.
and then I get killed,
Yeah.
and I don't even get the ass.
At least let me bust a nut before I
Yeah,
get
just
killed.
like follow through before you shoot me. You selfish bitch.
Yeah.
No, man.
That's a hard one.
See, the problem is there's no right answer.
There's not.
No.
There's not.
It's basically which, like to me, the question is which prolific serial killer would you want to be one of the victims of?
I go with Son of Sam. Just shoot me and get it over with. I'm not trying to be like the toy box killer. He's like, I'm going to put your head in this box.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do stuff to you.
I actually have a fun fact about Son of Sam. Is that one of my
His dad wasn't named Sam.
Where,
one of
where
my
that Newman
aunts-
was on the same route as
And
him.
has his back.
when
has his back.
when Son of Sam was an active killer, one of my aunts was living in the area where he was abducting and killing people, and
Well, he wasn't abducting. Yeah, he was just walking up to cars and bop.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, yeah, like.
You mean when he was not abducting and killing
Yeah,
people?
yeah. When he was just, when he was just killing
spreeing.
people. Yeah, on a spree.
Dude that I met in Texas, actually, and Mikey's friend. You met him too, Easter House.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this.
It was either him or his mom.
It was his mom.
His mom, when she was a kid, John Wayne Gacy was the clown at her birthday party.
And they have
Oh,
pictures
shit.
of.
They have
him.
pictures
Wow.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was like my what was his thing? He liked killing dark haired women.
Yeah.
Son of Sam.
Yes, he liked brunettes.
He liked brunettes, right?
Well, he mostly just went up to just cars. He
A
didn't
lot
really,
of dogs
yeah.
on his
A
route.
lot of dogs. on
Yeah.
his route.
But like she started wearing a blonde wig because she was afraid to fit the profile of Son of Sam's
I would.
victims.
If I knew he lived in my area, I would.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking die.
You know what's real fucked up, man? BTK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
when he was doing his thing and people were like, "Oh man, we gotta get security systems so we can't get in the house." He was installing the security system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. That was fucked.
It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, oh, it's not going to this house.
Yeah. I think you'd have the least chance of survival against him because back then too it was like
Well,
he'd
I don't
come
look
out-
at this as chance of survival.
Well, I mean, I
I don't think we should look at it like
No,
chance of
I mean,
survival.
he
No,
would
you're not living through it. He's a
because
serial
because
killer.
Yeah.
I'd say Ted Bundy because I'm not his
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah,
I'm
not
Yeah.
a chick. I don't look like his ex.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'd have great survival chance.
Yeah, no, I
He'd
would
probably be nice to me on the street. You
I
know,
would walk
Yeah.
right on by. How you
Yeah.
doing?
yeah.
you know. So I don't want to look at it.
Yeah,
as,
that's a chance of survival. But I mean, like, I wouldn't want to be hunted by him because once your phone line was out, you knew it. You knew it was game over. You know
Well,
what
at that
I mean?
point, he's not really hunting you. He's just coming in your house when you're asleep.
Yeah, and just killing you.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like being like, I'd rather deal with Richard Ramirez. Like, he's just breaking in and killing you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
this is
So,
true.
If I were, I'd probably honest. I'd want to. If I was to get killed by a serial killer, I'd
Just die.
I'd want it to be one of the ones where it's quick and easy, like
Yeah.
like Son of Sam. I guess the Zodiac. He wasn't really like a let's hold you down for days and like
No.
fucking
He just wanted
torture you.
attention, really,
Yeah,
from the
well,
media.
Well, I mean, he never got caught.
No,
He never got caught. So we'll never know what his true motive was.
no, Long Island serial killer hasn't been caught yet either.
Yep.
Nah.
The same
crazy.
person.
You think so?
No.
no.
No. No.
Long time in between.
Yes, I know. That's why I said no.
I knew when they said they caught the Golden State Killer. I knew that was bullshit.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, like there was all this hype about the documentary. All of a sudden, they're like, "Guess who we got?" Like, no, you just found a way to get ratings for your fucking channel. That's all
Yeah.
it is. And they're like, you know what the defining thing was for him?
What?
They're like, he had a really small dick.
Really?
That was like when people were like, "How can you describe the guy that raped the fuck out of you?"
Mm-hmm.
They're like, his dick was like real small.
I couldn't feel it. I didn't know it was raping.
I didn't even know it was happening.
Micropene.
No.
Yeah, like legit, like
Yeah.
really small.
That's a shame.
For me, I guess it'd be Richard Kuklinski. I think his name was the Iceman.
Iceman Killer.
Yeah, I mean, he did some fucked up shit to people. Also, he would just like walk around with like cyanide in spray can form, and you would
Yeah.
just die in 3 minutes.
Where he would
Yeah.
have a needle. They would just
Yeah, so like I mean, sometimes like that one case I was reading his book. That one case I forget, it was like a debtor, and he shoved like 15 credit cards up some dude's ass before he killed him or some shit. Like, yeah, that would suck.
yeah, that would really hurt.
That would suck.
A lot of sharp edges. Well, 4 to be exact.
The interesting
Yeah.
thing about him though is he said anything he regretted. The one thing he regretted was he was killing this religious person, and he's like, okay, if you believe in God, I'll give you an hour. You can pray to your God, and if there is a God, He'll let you free. And then in an hour, he killed him.
Yeah.
Like, gave him hope. He said the worst thing he ever did was just give someone hope, because it was like all a business thing to him. you know?
Yeah.
So like it wasn't really about that, but he savored the moment, and that scared him.
Yeah.
Him talking about it's weird. Like if you
It was
watch,
very just matter of fact.
yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with the BTK killer. There's a 45-minute video of him just going over his murders in court, and he's just like, "Yeah, I believe it was a Tuesday, and she had a blue shirt on. Yeah, so I came in the house and I tied her up." And you're like,
Matter of fact, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's like being like, "Yeah, I went to Chick-fil-A. I got a sandwich, no
Yeah.
pickles."
Yeah.
It's like-
It's Tuesday, 78 degrees.
Yeah.
And I tied her up and killed her.
yeah, pretty
every,
much.
Crazy.
Every single one of them. That's literally like how all their interviews
Well,
go.
how some of them are. The
You know who I
more
can't stand,
cold.
though? And anyone
Yeah.
that doesn't like it, I'll tell you what, I will ride the comments of this video. If you think Charles Manson's a serial killer, you're a fucking little bitch. And you just like to bring it up at dinner to shock your fucking aunt. Like, you know Charles Manson? Shut the fuck up.
Charles Manson only killed one person.
He didn't kill anyone. It's not even proven. Oh, the guy's Sonny. It's not even proven.
Well, I mean, he was just a cult leader.
And
Yeah.
at the same time, too, if you think Manson was so great, I love Manson, you're a fucking racist. He was trying to start a race war.
What about
You're a racist.
What about Jim Jones? Would you consider him a serial killer
No.
or a cult leader?
Nope. He's a cult leader.
Cult leader.
Because I was gonna say that would be my choice. Do you drink some Kool-Aid? Like,
Just
yo,
like
we got,
Marshall Applegate.
we got some
Not a
fresh,
killer.
we got some fresh punch over there. I'd be like, hell yeah! And then next thing I know, I just
That's like the people that
I'll be
say.
asleep.
1 second you're enjoying the punch, next thing you know, it's just not your problem anymore.
yeah,
It's like the
exactly.
people that say that Adolf Hitler was a serial killer. Like, yeah, his will.
He did kill one person.
He was in World War One too.
Well, no, he by his hand killed. I think it was his best friend because his best friend was Jewish, and he killed him.
Oh, wow.
Only person he ever killed.
But yeah, he's not a serial killer.
No,
Now, what?
that's like saying
because
Stalin's
of
a serial killer.
because of
Yeah.
his actions,
They're
though,
like a
people
mass
do
murderers.
die. Like, obviously not abstain from all that, but I wouldn't consider him a serial killer.
And here's
No.
another thing too that a lot of people seem to really overlook. There is literally an interview, legit, 100%. Go on whatever and look it up. He said, Charles Manson said, when he got caught and they were like, how's the trial going to go? He's like, I am going to put on the show you want to see.
Yeah.
He's not like that. He was all fucked up because his mom was a hooker and he got sold at a young.
Yeah.
But he openly came out and said, I am putting on a show for you. This is what you want to see, so this is how I'm acting.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened? He fucking drank his own Kool-Aid
He was
and was
a
like,
mob- he was a
I
mob
am Charles
prisoner.
Manson.
Model
Yeah.
prisoner.
Yeah, like, dude, the guy is a...
He was
he's-
up for parole too.
Yeah, and then- but his whole thing is-
he couldn't.
He
wouldn't be
can't
able to
function
leave
outside. He's
Yeah.
institutionalized. But
Yeah.
it's all an act.
Yeah.
And
It
everyone's
was
like,
an
my God,
act.
he's so
He's dead
shocking
now.
and scary. Let me wear a shirt with his face on it so that people are scared of me. Like, no one's scared of you. We're just looking at you like...
I guess
You're
we
an
should
idiot.
phrase
Yeah.
it
You're a
more.
fag.
Yeah.
We should phrase it more. It was an act. He is dead now. There's no more act.
It was an
Yeah.
act,
Yeah.
man. And that's... And don't get me wrong, like, I went to the Museum of Death and I saw his guitar in person and in his prison outfit. And all. It was cool to see because it's a big part of true crime history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But get the fuck off his dick! Let's move on from Charles Manson.
Nah.
Please.
Ted Bundy's awesome.
Yeah, he's dope. Pedro Lopez.
Ted Bundy
A
was
lot of people don't know about him.
Nah.
Pedro
Yeah, no, I've
Lopez
never
literally...
heard of him.
He is free. Nobody
Yes.
knows where he is, and he
Yeah.
literally brought the police to a mass grave of 200 children he killed.
Yeah.
And he just walked away.
Some country.
It's in South America,
yeah.
and the problem is you can't have any more than 18 years in prison, no matter what the crime. So he got out and just fled, and no one knows where he is.
Wow.
And he's living amongst us.
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's
That's
somewhere.
awesome.
Yeah,
He could be killing.
I should also phrase that I don't think Ted Bundy is awesome for what he did. I think his story and like it was just gripping.
None of these people
and,
are
like,
awesome.
Yeah, no.
It's intriguing.
Ted
Yeah.
Bundy fucking launched Anne Rule's career. She's
Yeah.
the most successful true crime writer of all time, and she used to work at a suicide hotline with Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think, like, you might be, like, sitting there one day, like, man, I was going to off myself in, like, 78, and,
Ted Bundy
Yeah.
saved me.
Yeah,
and Ted Bundy saved my life.
yeah,
But that would be
Ironic.
like saying, like, that would be like a situation where you're like, yo, Henry Lee Lucas held the door open to Wawa for me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's another thing I can't stand. People do, like, yo, did you hear this person died? Like, you serious? My dad used to go to the Wawa that his mom worked at and got coffee. This affects me.
No.
Like, no, it doesn't.
No, not at all.
It doesn't affect you at all. You just want to be. You just want to be a mom.
Sometimes I think Boo's he's just angry. Just an angry man.
I have a very calm demeanor.
But like no, I mean like I don't know. I mean there's so many serial killers out there too that we just don't know. I mean like you can think of it this way too, like when you're going back to like the Adolf thing, like I wouldn't necessarily I would no way in any shape or form say that Adolf was a serial killer, but I believe some of the SS officers that tortured people
No, Dr. Mengele was a serial killer.
at
Yep.
fucking at like
Yeah.
because like they just did
Dr. Mengele was a serial killer.
yeah even like
100%.
the
That's
doc-
not one I want to be a part of either.
no the documentary they just had of The Devil Next Door on Netflix about the guy that they thought was Ivan the Terrible.
No.
You know what I mean? When the testimonies of them describing what Ivan the Terrible did to people was like for fun, like gouge their eyes out, like you know what I mean, like cut pieces of their skin off. You know what I mean, like a lot of the SS officers and stuff. Like you basically gave full right to a serial killer to just have fun.
Well, that's a
You know what I mean?
situation of like the Stanford experiment. If you've ever heard of that,
Yeah.
they actually had to shut it down in 6 days because you basically looked at someone and said, "Hey, do this. There's no repercussion for it." And when you know you're not going to get in trouble for something, I don't care who you are. and whatever your moral bullshit is, if you ain't gonna get in trouble for it,
Your
and it
primitive,
crosses your mind,
instinct comes
you're
out.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get like oh, like even if it's something stupid, like oh man, I could buy these Girl Scout cookies for $5, or I could just rock this little girl and take them all.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at some point, that more like at first you would probably be like, no, that's wrong. I can't do that. But after a while, you're gonna be like, but why can't I do it? Because I can.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that's gonna happen to me.
A lot of people like to believe they're above it, but there's like a base animal like
Throughout all of
primal
humanity's history, we are horrible things.
thing. Yes,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I mean, we're animals.
it's like that whole like video games produce violence. Like I saw,
No.
even though it was a meme, and which is relevant, cultural memes are culturally relevant whether
Yeah.
you like it or not. It was literally a meme with two guys in World War I. He's like, "Yo, man, what's violence?" And the other guy was like, "I don't know, man. Video games haven't been invented yet."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy because like
Yeah.
video games promoting violence. Video games are like a lot of video games are just based off of real world events. Like all war games are just based off of like
All
real
wars.
all
Yeah.
wars that
Yeah.
have happened
Yeah.
years and decades and hundreds
Yeah.
of years before video games were a thing.
Yeah, and like the crazy thing too is like it was I don't know I guess like it's weird because like it's part of my family's history. Like when it's funny to say like playing a Call of Duty game where you felt something. Was the World War II game they released not too long ago when they were talking about like Germany, like and like the one part you're in the middle of the cold winter and you're storming Germany and shit like that. My grandfather was actually a part of that, and there's pictures and stuff, and like they like I know they have them like they have them all boxed away, but it was like letters and stuff from like soldiers and stuff that because when he came home like he had such bad frostbite, he had leukemia, they had like I think they had to amputate his leg, and like. It was just crazy to think that, like...
It took, like, an hour.
oh, yeah, for people to... Oh, yeah, rest in peace, Kobe, because that happened, like, literally today.
It
Yeah.
happened minutes ago.
Yeah, happened minutes ago, yeah. And people
Sure did.
People are already making fucked up memes.
I mean, you know. Okay, if we're gonna talk about that,
We're not going to talk about that. I'm
Yeah,
just
good,
saying that because...
like,
No, we're not going to talk
I'm
about
not
that.
gonna I'm not gonna act like that. I mean, it's sad that it happened or whatever, but I'm not gonna act like I'm not big into basketball, so
I
Yeah,
can't
I-
name
I-
one thing he's ever done other than shoot a ball.
I don't know much about him, so...
You know.
He did not inspire me to do anything.
I mean, like I said, I don't want anyone to die, and I understand that people look
Yeah,
up to him.
he's relevant, but he like.
No comment.
No.
I'm not going to sit here and be like he was such an inspiration to me because I don't even know what number he was in basketball. So I'm not going to play the whole look how good of a person I am because I brought it up.
Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that.
It
Just
was
because it happened minutes ago.
Yeah, it literally did, yeah. Like, just, like, scrolling, because, I mean,
you know, when you hear this 5 weeks from now, it'll be.
And
news.
everyone is going to
Yeah.
be like, "Yo, that guy Boo is a fucking dick."
yeah,
But anyway, serial killers.
Yes.
yeah.
I'd probably like to deal with Jane Topana, was that her name? The nurse who, like, poisoned 30 people? Back back in the day?
Well, there's tons. They're literally called angels of death.
Yeah.
Like the nurses that kill people.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to go out that way. Just be poisoned and just
Yeah, just
sleep
basically
and then die.
euthanized.
Yeah.
That's like being like, I want to go out trying to disarm a bomb. Like either I'm right or it's suddenly not my problem
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. See, in this situation, I guess I want to be a part. Well, I want to be a part. I'd rather be a part of something like you know, some killer that people talked about. I
Yeah, but that's the
guess.
thing is no one
That's
talks about the
true,
victims.
too.
No one
Yeah.
talks about the victims.
no, they just
Nah.
talk about the killer.
Nah. And that's why, like, it was weird you watching, like, Ted Bundy movie, because, I'm
Well,
not
it's
gonna
from
lie,
a
even
different
I was
perspective.
just like, yeah, it was from his wife's perspective. Even it's funny because even a little bit of me, I was like, man, I don't really care too much because, like I understand, like, he was married to her, but, like, he didn't do anything to her. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, it's gotta be horrible and heartbreaking to, like, for that weight on your mind that's, like, I lived with a serial killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's, like, I felt like there wasn't more on, like, the victims' families. You know what I mean? Like, the victims, I feel like, are more... They deserve a story more than the person that
Absolutely.
lived with the serial killer. You know what I mean?
Well, see, the thing
Well,
is,
there's nothing up until the murder. There's nothing about the victim that grabs you. All you're waiting for is the murder situation. Other than that, they're like, well, figure skater, local
Yeah.
coach. You know what I mean? Like no,
Yeah.
like
They're just average people.
yeah,
And
the
Of
people
of
only want
course,
to hear about
Ted
the
Bundy's
murder.
going to get more attention
Yeah.
than a fucking woman that he raped
Yeah.
and killed.
Yeah.
Because he killed...
And then raped again.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's more interesting than
Yeah.
a random woman getting picked up and
It's not that
killed.
it's interesting. It's just it's shocking and taboo.
Yeah,
So you
people are gonna
want
talk
to hear
about
about
that
it.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's interesting in a way. It's like looking at a dark corner of human
It racks
history.
your brain.
Yeah.
It makes you think,
You know, like this
what
is
makes
something.
people
I
do
mean,
that.
this is something.
Yeah.
Not that we would. This is something that we all could do.
Yeah.
All humans could do this. Something
Everyone
that
has a
someone we
limit.
know.
Everyone
Yeah.
has a point they could be pushed to where that
Yeah.
happens.
Mhm.
Like
Like
some
the-
people, it's like a mother can be pushed to kill protecting a child.
Absolutely.
Like something like that. Like everyone's got. There's just some people. Like and it all has a lot to do with nature versus nurture and frontal lobe damage and.
Yeah.
I guess another one. I guess this isn't a serial killer. Another one that I guess I would deal with. I would be Casey Anthony's child.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm a baby. I don't know what's happening anyway.
She got away with
Yeah.
it. She got away with murder. I don't care what anyone
She
says.
did.
She
Yeah.
literally
Absolutely.
got away with it. All the
100%.
evidence was fucking there.
100%. But she cried at court, so she's fine.
Yeah.
Scot free.
Yeah. But that's who Aaron.
Pretty lady
that's
cried at
who.
court.
That's who Aaron Hernandez's lawyer was. I think at one point, wasn't it? Wasn't the lawyer for Casey Anthony's lawyer?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I
don't
think
know
How
too
do you
much
guys feel about the
represented-
Michelle Carter thing?
It's
What?
It's the same thing, ain't it?
Michelle Carter? No, she's the one that convinced her boyfriend to kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
And she's out of jail
yeah.
now. She's
Yeah.
out of jail.
Yeah, she's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
She's a piece of human being, but she
Do you think she should have got the manslaughter charge? Or do you think she should get full on murder?
I think she get full on murder because it's premeditated. It's like she
don't
forced
know.
him.
I don't know.
She pushed him into suicide.
There was no gun to his head, though.
She didn't kill
Yeah,
him,
but
but she drove
I
him to
don't
kill
agree
himself.
with that act,
mental
but-
abuse to the point where someone
So
killed
that's
themselves.
like saying
Is that no different than torture though?
Well, that's
Even though
like
it's not
saying
physical?
Albert
Alright, well, then-
Fish's
It's mental torture,
Then
yeah.
it's a matter of a comparison to it. I can't remember the girl's name, and I will look it up, and I'm bringing the name up beforehand. But there used to be a girl on Tumblr back before it was what the fuck it is now, and she would post pictures after she had self-harmed, but these were such intense acts of self-harm. Like she would cut to the bone.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like to the bone, and she had a boyfriend, and
Yeah.
he would post for her and shit like that. Like he wouldn't be like, "Yo, don't do it."
Yeah.
He would be like, "Well, did you take pictures?" And then they would put it on Tumblr.
That's fucking
No.
And it was
up.
like a huge. She had like a huge. And then she just vanished. No one knows if she's alive or not.
She probably
But like,
died,
like that's a
killed
situation. Like, do you think the boyfriend should be held partially responsible for what she
Absolutely.
did?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost like he's encouraging it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
here's my thing with that. Like
He's
you can't-
asking her, "Did you take pictures?" Yeah.
You can't blame the kids at Albert Fish's orphanage when he was an orphan. You can't blame the kids that sexually assaulted him for the reason why he killed apparently 300 children.
Yeah.
Or 100 children, rather, is the apparent number, but they only proved like 20 of them.
Yeah.
But you can't blame them, but it's a nature versus nurture thing. Like, that is probably a reason why he
Yeah.
ended up doing that in the future.
But that's in a way that's a different.
But no, it's
thing.
sort of
It's-
the same thing, because it's like, there's signs there, like, you know, if those kids didn't rape him and beat him every day,
Yeah.
and he didn't grow up in that environment, he probably wouldn't have been the sadist he was.
Yeah.
No,
he was
but-
conditioned to be that way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
So-
saying. Like, but
so-
this was
By the way, the girl's name is Coldness in My Heart. Was the name of the Tumblr.
yeah. But I'm saying like what this was that kid killing himself was directly responsible of that person. Like he took his life at that moment and at that time because of her. Like she was the sole
Okay.
proprietor.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
So I
It,
mean,
it wasn't something that happened like
this is
years
just to put
later.
in perspective.
You know?
This is just to put in perspective. This isn't like anything like fresh ones, but this was her arms. Like she was extreme with it. I mean,
Ew.
obviously no one else can see this, but this is the level I'm talking to that she did this to. Like there was
Those
picture-
look like alien arms.
like
That looks like the fucking,
extreme scars on scars on scars.
Oh
On
my
scars.
god, it looks like
Yeah.
the dude from Hellboy, the fish dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Forget his name.
Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I believe
Oh
he's.
my God.
I believe he's responsible. I believe he should be held
Ugh.
accountable. That's like saying like the Nazi Germany.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that like
That's
the same thing as like
They're fucking crazy.
yeah, like no one put a gun to the SS officers' heads, the ones that tortured fucking people and shit like that, but they did it.
well, that goes back to what
You
we
know
were
what I
saying
mean?
earlier about how you were told there's no repercussion for what you're doing. So
Yeah.
like why like again it goes back to why wouldn't you do it? It's the same like I said with the Stanford experiment. They had
Yeah.
a group of college students that were the guards, a group of college students that were the inmates, and within I think 6 hours it got to the point of just fucking torture.
Yeah.
They had to pull the plug on it after a couple days because it just
Yeah.
got to that point
Yeah.
because there was no repercussion.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, let's. My thing is like, do I think they should be held responsible? I don't think what they did was right. I think they have fault in it. But at the same point, no one just kills themselves because someone else told them to. Like 100%. You also have to choose by yourself
Yeah,
too. Like I'm
you
going to
do
do
make
this
that
act.
choice.
Yeah.
Now, do I think she should be? She is not in the right. she could have been the thing that pushed him over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But if people are going to kill
Maybe he
themselves,
felt like
they
he
have
had
to
no
decide on
choice.
their own. You know
So,
what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what, and this is going to get real, hey, let's learn something about Boo. I have gone through the someone close to you killed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't even know if you guys know that. My dad killed himself. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, I think you told us.
So, like, no matter what, once someone has that mentality,
They're gonna do it.
There's two different kinds of people in this situation. I'm going to tell everyone I'm going to kill myself because I want someone to be like, hey, don't do it, and we care about you, and now we're all here. Mm-hmm. If someone, in my opinion, if someone is genuinely going to do it, they're not going to be like,
I'm gonna kill myself.
I think I'm gonna kill myself on Thursday. Like, they're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there was not a time when my dad called my mom and was like, hey, Ann, just so you know, how the kid's good. Yeah, no, I just got home from work. Think about hanging it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
No,
so,
not normally.
if someone has that mindset, even if the boyfriend had that mindset, he was eventually going to do it.
She just pushed him over the edge.
She just sped the process up. Now, I'm not saying it's right.
And, maybe eventually he would have found peace, too, and not did it. There's also that...
Yeah.
There's that chance.
But you don't know. There's no way of ever knowing. Mm-hmm. But you obviously have... If you're doing it by your own hand, you have to decide.
Yeah, it's completely a decision you make on your own.
Now, I am sympathetic to the families.
Yeah.
I'm not really...
It sucks.
Here's my thing. I'm not too sympathetic to the people that do end up killing themselves, because I feel that that's very selfish.
I think it's
to their families, and you know what? There's no situation that's so bad. Like, with time, things could get better.
Yeah.
In some situations, yes, but there are some people that their brain is just so ruined, and the mindset just never goes away. Like, I see it from two different angles. It's extremely selfish to leave everyone that cares about you behind, asking all these questions. What the fuck happened? Why didn't he come to me? Why didn't he bring it up? But at the same time, it's also extremely selfish for me to be mad at you because you found a way out of your pain and it inconveniences me.
Yeah.
And I'm mad because of that. Like, and this is speaking from experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get both sides of that spectrum. Like, I see what you were going through, and you thought that was your only way out, and it fucking sucks that you did that. But at the same time, why should you go through an eternity of suffering just because you don't want to upset me? I see both angles.
I had a friend when I was 19. I saw him maybe like 2 or 3 days before.
Talking about Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. Dude, he was always troubled, and he was like. But he was like the sweetest fucking dude ever. Like, we were in a band together and shit. Like, we had good fucking times. We fucking laughed. Like, he was cheerful, and like he always had something else going on.
He was fucked up though.
And I saw him 3 days before, smiling. You know what I mean? At work, and I was like, I should go say hi to him. I was like, you know what? Let me not bother him. He's at work. You know what I mean? No one likes getting bothered at work. And then like 3 days later, I heard he hung himself in his backyard.
Yep.
You know, and like.
Didn't his sister find him?
His sister found him, yeah. And, like, I wasn't mad at him, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, it sucks that whatever, like, that was his way out, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I believe it takes a lot of guts to be like, this is my way out. This is my only escape.
I do not think that I'm saying, like, there's a coward for doing it, because I would never be able to do it if you had a gun to my head.
Yeah, I never said that.
There are two ends to that spectrum as well.
Yeah.
You could have faced your problems in a more constructive way. I don't have the balls to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it from both angles at all times.
I think there's a point for some people that it's like, you could get beaten down so fucking far that like that they're like, it could look so bleak that there's no, like, you gotta think about it too. Like, think about all the soldiers that like that were kids our age when like 9/11 and all that shit happened. They got told, you're going to fight for our country, and you're gonna be a hero when you come home. These terrorists bombed us at 9/11, and some of the shit that they did over there, some of them when they came back, some of them made it out. Like, I worked with a guy who I don't want to bring his name up, but he struggled for many years. I mean, with drug abuse, with trying to get himself, and he's finally got himself to a point where there was a couple times where he almost just didn't make it. Like, he came close. Like, I mean, there was times where we thought he was going to get killed because of the shit that he just went off the rails. And there's some kids that when they came back from that war, they were like, I can't forgive myself for what I did.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And even though they went in like, I'm the pride of my country, I'm fighting these terrorists, they came home and they took their own lives. You know, and just because of what they did, they couldn't forgive themselves for it. And I believe there's just a point where like
that
you just
goes a lot with
you know what I mean?
your mindset and how you deal with things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a couple experiences with this. I'm not going to name any names.
Yeah.
I have a very close friend. You know him. Don't start naming names because it's his personal business. A hint for you: he was in our band.
Yeah.
His stepdad had really bad cancer. His stepdad was really good to me. Like I was pretty close with him, but obviously not as close as he was. But
Yeah.
he was really good to me. But he had cancer that was too far gone. He was living in pain. He couldn't even breathe.
Yeah.
So he purposely got into a fight with my buddy's mom, and she left because it was like a bad fight, and then he hung himself.
No.
To alleviate the pain is what we feel, because he couldn't even breathe like on his own anymore.
Yeah.
I would never want to get to that point.
Well,
exactly.
They're actually pushing for medical suicide. Like, if you're in the hospital and you're dying, you should be able to choose to kill yourself.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's fine, too.
Because that goes along, again, with what I was saying before. Like, I am in constant pain, and I need to deal with, like, me being in constant pain so you aren't upset that I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but in that run, I don't even look at it like, hey, basically assisted suicide. You're not doing anything wrong there. If anything, by telling someone, like, no, you can't do that, like, you're a fucking asshole.
Absolutely.
In
You're
my
going to make
opinion.
that person suffer and then die
so
in
you don't
pain.
have to?
Yeah.
Now, like, that's sad. I don't blame him for doing it.
No.
I said I have no sympathy, and that's probably the wrong thing I should have said when I said it. I'm not mad at
You're
anyone.
not as hard about it.
Yeah.
You don't get as, like,
I'd say
it's a hard thing to word without sounding like an asshole.
Yeah, it's put it this way. In a way, you understand their pain.
You get it.
So you don't hurt for them. At the same time, you're hurt. You're more, in a way, happy that they found their way out.
Maybe I'm pretty, like, I could be pretty fatalistic when I talk. I'm pretty ideal. I'm pretty much an idealist. I like to look at the best case scenarios in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
But so, like, I'd like to think that there's always a way out. But I understand these people do feel like there is no way out.
Yeah.
And sometimes there really is no way out.
Yeah, for them, that was their only choice.
Yeah, and that is that. Yeah. So, like, I get that. I also had a buddy in high school. Again, not gonna name names.
Excuse me.
He lived in a rough home, and he at the last year of high school he was in foster care because it was like that rough. So he went to the Army, got through boot camp. And then they said it was an in-house accident. He killed himself.
That's a shame.
On base. And that was his way of getting away from it all.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's sad and it's terrible because, like, maybe if it isn't like a case where you're fatally wounded, like the cancer case.
Yeah.
There could be a different avenue he could have took.
No.
Yeah, there's always choices.
There could have been a different avenue, but I also understand that maybe that was just his only avenue in his mind.
No.
There was nothing that could...
Yeah, like all the suicide hotlines and stuff like that. Like some people feel like they can't reach out and talk about what's going on with them.
It's just not fun to talk about either.
No.
It makes you feel really weird, and it
brings up bad shit for you.
Not even that. A lot of people don't know how to sit there and listen to someone talk like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are like...
A lot of people either get upset or...
When people hear that, they'll recoil...
Yeah, try to change the subject. Or, why don't we do this?
Or they'll try to lash out.
Yeah, like, why would you do that?
For feeling such a way.
But even they downplay.
Even if people feel sympathetic towards you, you feel like they're pandering to you now.
Well, that's why, like, a lot of times, like, when I do talk to people and they're like, what's your dad do? The second thing out of my mouth after I tell them is, do not say you're sorry. Because I get it. That's the go-to response. What are you sorry for?
No.
What is it you're saying? Like, you're sorry that happened to me. I'm glad that you have some kind of sympathy towards me. I don't want to hear it.
No.
It's not that I'm being an asshole. It's just like, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
No.
Like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Like, not to say, like, people aren't inherently good people and, like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you and I'm sorry you had to go through that. But, like, nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Nobody wants to hear it.
No.
And you can tell, oh my god, so sorry, it gets better with time. Put one foot in front of the other.
No.
Like, no, dude, like, you know how many times I've heard that in my life?
Yeah.
It's not that simple.
No.
Eventually, you just gotta accept, like, wow. Like, someone told me recently, like, someone I know that went through that, and I was just like,
Wow.
I'm just not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Not because I don't care, but like it's just a matter of nothing I am going to say.
It's gonna make
because
it
that's
better.
really all you're trying to do. You're trying to say something that's going to make them feel better, and
Yeah.
it's not a situation that you can make a person feel better through.
No.
It's just something they have to live with.
It's just something you got to let someone get through that their own way. Like
Yeah.
my escape from everything that goes on. Go home, get ripped, play video games.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's like my escape. It was like when when I used to get the fucking shit fucking bullied out of me and all that shit. I was like, my escape was I would come home, I would not talk to anyone. Like, I mean, it was basically home by myself all the time. But like, I would go home. First thing I would do is turn on my fucking game system, whatever game I was playing. Like, which one was big for me at the time was Legend of Zelda, and I would just, for some reason, my mind, I was Link. And I was a hero, and I was in this beautiful. It is, and like,
Escapism.
but like, for some people, like it's just there's no escapism for it. Like another person I knew.
Some people can't run away from their.
we're
their
also
troubles.
getting fucked up is just easy.
Yeah, I knew.
It's easy to just get drunk.
Yeah, I knew someone that suffered from drug addiction, and they fought it, and they won, and then they lost, and then they won, and then they lost, and
I
then
think I know who you're
one of the last things they told their mom was, "I can't fight anymore."
Yeah.
And they purposely, they believe, OD'd because they just couldn't put up the fight anymore. And it's sad because like
I mean,
with our
that's really not a
generation,
bad way to go out.
but I'm saying I know with our generation,
painless.
drug
You
drug
fall asleep.
drug addiction
Yeah.
is such a big thing because doctors were just putting kids on like. 13-year-old. Here's Oxy 80s. Like, go out
Well, it's
there,
like my
go
brother,
out there and
my
play,
little
champ.
brother, he has ADHD, and they gave him not Adderall, but like some new experimental drug.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes he would just lay on the floor.
no,
and,
he'll
like,
just sit there on the couch, just
Yeah.
staring at nothing sometimes.
Oh, man.
And it's like,
No.
dude, what are you doing?
Dude,
and
I
he's
used
like,
to have to take Prozac. That shit made
Yeah.
me a zombie.
yeah,
Like,
it made my
it was
brother
just
zombie.
like you would be like, "Yo, boo," and I'd be like,
I had to take all
"That
sorts.
was it."
of
Like
Yeah, that's
I
how
would just
Connor
look at
is.
you. I would just
Yeah.
look at you and
Yeah.
wait for you to say what you got to say. It was
Yeah.
no like, "Hey man, what's up? I would like to hold a conversation." It was just like,
okay.
Yeah, and
Sad.
it's sad. It's sad that like it's just that like some people like when they get to that hole, it's just
Some people can't
that's
climb
just
out.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's fun. It's funny that we kind of got here from where we were.
Talk about serial killers.
Yeah, talking about serial. I guess
It's
it
not a
just
bad conversation to have,
takes
though.
it takes you to that dark place, and I think it's one of those things that like. When you start talking about death, it's hard to not think of the people that you've lost and the struggle, the struggles that people go through. And like, if anyone has at least made it this far into the podcast, if you are in a position like that, don't ever let someone put down your struggle and say that it's not worth because of what maybe their lives are different than yours, and they don't. It's hard. You can't really effectively always put yourself in someone else's shoes. You know what I mean?
I think we should also state we do not really advocate suicide.
No, we don't.
Not at all.
We don't.
Yeah.
But like,
It's understanding. I mean, we've all in different degrees have dealt
Everyone
with it.
has
I
their
think
own
everyone
struggles.
has at least dealt with a suicide in some way, shape, or form.
yeah,
Like obviously, mine isn't as close as Boo's.
Yeah.
no,
And like yours might be closer than mine.
No.
That doesn't matter.
that doesn't matter. No.
Another random fact that I know you two don't know. I spent 4 weeks in the psych ward when I was 19 because of it.
Yeah, right.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I took a month's worth of sleeping pills.
Oh wow.
No.
Yeah, so got it coming from both ends here. Been through it, tried it. It is what it is. Guess what?
Yeah.
Life sucks, gets better, whatever.
Yeah. It gets better.
Don't say
for
you're
some-
sorry.
I
No.
wasn't gonna say it.
That's why, like,
fucking bastard. You don't like
right.
Kurt Russell.
I'm sorry, I'm not
right.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
I always joke around too that like I always feel like our friend group is we kind of like cling together sometimes. I feel like we've all gone through some kind of trauma that like brings us together. You know
I think
what I
that
mean?
shit makes for the insanely dark sense of humor I have.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that stuff deals with mine too.
And like because I mean like this is like
It's
something that
escapism,
you
too.
don't I mean you guys know because you make fun of me all the time where like like I cry at everything and I always get emotional. There was years though like
Boy, you could watch like a Toy Story commercial and
yeah
start crying.
I'm saying this is before you guys knew this is before you guys knew me, but like there was years where I wouldn't shed a single fucking tear. Like I was emotionless.
You were just angry.
I was like, I had so
You were
much
angry.
anger that like I was emotionless. I would never cry. If I was upset, I would get angry.
Yup.
Like because I've tried to take my own life. I'm not proud of it. you know, and
I've tried to kill myself before, and it was multiple times actually.
It was for me. It was like I guess it was a way of me getting rid of my anger, and like because I felt like I just couldn't quell my anger. Like I was just so fucking mad all the time, and then one day the first time in years when I cried, I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop after that. Now it's just like whenever I get emotional, I break.
It is statistically it's healthier to cry. I like. No, this is a lying. This is lying. It says 0 sugar, 0 calories.
It's got sugar.
It's got 10 calories in it. The fuck. Anyway, but sorry. Yeah.
Got distracted.
I don't want to talk too much about my family history. I don't talk.
You
I really
have to.
don't talk about it.
If you're not comfortable with it, don't.
I just don't like naming names and people because I still deal with these people.
That's true.
When I grew up, I didn't grow up in ideal situations.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna say. Basically in a parental sense, and you know, when people leave you, I'm used to people leaving, so I become a little more jaded to when people go away. I don't care as much.
Yeah.
No.
Because of that, but I feel like the humor came in when I was young, very young, because it's an attention thing. It's an attention thing because I was always led to believe I was second best in everything, even though I was the firstborn child, and I was second best from before the other child was there. But you know,
middle child boy.
Well, you got the middle child syndrome.
Yeah.
I like statistically, usually the firstborn gets the most attention. The first and lastborns get the most attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you know, obviously one's the first and the other's the baby. So like you know, I was supposed to you know, air quotes, have like all the best avenues because of that, but I didn't have a receptive half of my parental core.
No.
You know, and then the manipulation and stuff like that. So I guess I took to comedy, dumb comedy, because my common denominator for that side of the family was dumb humor worked. So I had a lot of dumb humor elements that I put in. I act stupid on purpose. Like I'm a lot more intelligent than I like to let on.
Yeah, you are very smart.
I'm a lot more intelligent than I like to let on to people.
And it's funny too because I mean, for people who have listened to the podcast and all that stuff, like they really don't know, like because even when I first met Anthony, it was always like a lot of dumb humor, then he's just like, yeah, I'm a math major, and then like he would like. I'd ask him like some like really fucking stupid question, and he would just like it was stupid to me because like there's some, you know, there's things that even like I just like wouldn't understand or something like that, and I could just ask him for some reason. He was just like, oh yeah, it's fucking this and this, and like sometimes I feel like at the same time too we don't realize that a lot of times we do. Like, you know, a lot of people hide who they are behind something. There's always a coping mechanism. I mean, you know what I mean?
There's a psychology thing. I'm going to be this guy. I took a psychology class in college, okay, so I know.
Yeah.
No, but it was going over people's different masks on their self and different situations. People have different masks for different situations. It's like a lot of people act differently around friends.
Yeah.
And then will act differently around loved ones, and then completely even act differently around themselves. No. It's called the masks of the self.
I think that's needed though, because like
it's a social convention. Everyone does it. It's
like that Chinese saying where you have three faces.
Yeah. I mean, literally everyone does it.
Yeah.
If you say you don't, you just don't maybe see it.
Yeah.
But it's just a psychology thing that
you're
everyone
gonna act
does.
different around different people.
No. I admit that I can be a chameleon because like there's so many.
Can you?
Definitely are a chameleon.
You kidding me? I see you talk to someone else. You wrap your skin around, and next thing you know, like, who the hell is this? Talking about this weird ass subject to this dude for 5 hours.
I think it came down to like
every time.
For so long, I felt like I was alone. Because like, you know, like it wasn't like my mom's fault. You know what I mean? She worked 2 jobs, so like a lot of times it was like there's one light on in the house. And it's just the room that I'm in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I'd talk to my dogs. Like they were like who I hung out with, you know what I mean? So I guess it got to the point where like that feeling of that drove me to that dark place of just being alone, that like it got to the point where like I didn't want that feeling of when I talk to someone else, like I wanted them to always feel like, because I do care, you know what I mean, but like I always wanted them to feel like they were comfortable to be comfortable around, because I always felt
what you're saying is be the
uncomfortable.
person that you always needed.
Yeah, because I always felt so uncomfortable, and I always felt like.
Word of the day.
I always felt like I was just so by myself that I didn't want other people to have that feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got 2 modes. I'll either talk to you or I just fucking won't.
Yeah.
There's no in between. There's no like I had a slight conversation with Boo.
Yeah.
Like it's either he didn't say a word or he didn't shut the fuck up.
I'm the same way in a sense, because like I like to joke around, but like around other people, and you see this, unless I'm slightly inebriated or something, I can't open up to people.
Oh shit! There's nights on Call of Duty we'll go like an hour and a half without a word.
I mean, I think that's more so out of us being frustrated at the game. But yeah, no, like I don't even know why I started talking to you, because I don't usually talk to people. You know,
Probably Aaron approached you first,
that's probably what happened.
and then he just didn't shut the fuck up, and you're like, great, now I'm stuck in this friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90% of the people that know me is because they came to me first. It's very like I talk to Anthony every day only because Anthony gets a hold of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those people that's like
I don't reach out to
I don't
people.
reach out. It's not because I don't like you or because I don't want to. It's just like I'm just
And that's what
I'm just there.
Yeah.
You know?
we had that understanding pretty quick, you know what I mean? Because like even with our little group chat when we talk about like what we're gonna do coming up in the following week and stuff like that, like Boo like almost never says anything. It'll be like line.
At the same time, whenever you guys are like, we think about this, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Like but like I mean like you always know with Boo where you stand. Like you know he's always like Boo's always pretty direct on the way like
He's
just
you
like
can say pretty direct, but I would call it more just very
direct. Yeah,
I will
like,
tell you exactly what I want to tell you, and that's all I'll say. Like, yeah, what do you think of this? Nah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Why not? Because I fucking don't. That's why. It's
And
stupid
like,
and I don't approve.
Yeah. And that's all there needs to be sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's like
I don't like people that need to give me like a 40-minute explanation on something.
No.
Like hey man, do you want to get Wendy's? Nah man, and here's why. Stop.
Yeah, just say
Say no. And I'll suggest probably Taco Bell. That's my next go-to.
Yeah.
If you say no from there, I'm just gonna be like, well then fucking get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care what we get.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know, it's especially weird like in this day and age too where like
Difficulties.
sorry about that. We had technical difficulties.
The dog sat on
technical
the cord.
difficulty. The dog pulled the fucking. Don't come over to me now. I'm not helping.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry.
I'm the last one to give you sympathy.
Yeah. But and especially in this day and age, it's like I think that a lot of people use social media sometimes as a cry for help, which in the same sense sometimes it's good, but like I think people need to realize
a lot of people cry wolf on social media.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
God.
There's
like
a lot
everybody.
and the problem is too is that it's become so saturated on social media and stuff like that like if people need help, the best place to go is to the people that you know care about you. Because if you post certain stuff on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, there's always going to be that person that they may feel the same amount of pain as you, but the way they deal with it is by lashing out at someone else. And there's a lot of people out there that like
isn't as bad as mine.
Yeah, they like to bring people down.
Well, some people just have dick measuring contests for their trauma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
absolutely.
too. And like I think that comes down to a lot of part of not being able to accept yourself in the same sense of like you're not at peace with yourself. So it's like you feel like you have to be the pinnacle of
just narcissism.
Yeah,
it's straight narcissism. My struggle is worse than yours because I'm me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's. I mean, this is on a whole different spectrum, but it's like with parents. No parent is right except for me.
No.
I am the ultimate parent.
No.
And everything I say is the right way to do it.
Yeah. And that's where, like, I'm kind of bringing it a little full circle here, where I think that, which was good that they started going into the psychology of serial killers when they did, because a lot of that, like how you guys said before, like nature and nurture and stuff like that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Every time, Des, up top.
Yeah.
It's not a cast without Des just fucking letting it out.
Yeah. I think like a lot of
serial... like 3 years from now, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't hear Des burp."
Yeah.
She okay?
She okay? She alright? I think a lot of it, serial killers, it comes down to basic psychology, and because one of the most recent ones, like I said on Netflix, Don't Fuck with Cats. One of the things that he wrote on the wall, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was basically like, don't hate what you've created by looking in the mirror or something like that, and some people can take it as he did what he did because he got the fame out of it, of people wanting to hunt him down, and the infamy he gained from those people, and like they even talk about it in their interviews that they towards the end they're like, we almost didn't want to do this documentary because we're putting his name out there, and we feel like that's exactly what he wanted.
I mean, when they called him, he was in a coffee shop reading about himself.
That's,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And I mean, that's the thought of like you'll hear some people talk about like these school shootings.
Yeah.
How it's like sort of fame chasing at sometimes.
Yeah.
And there is a case for that. I think there's no way to ever determine exactly what breaks a person.
Yeah.
Like I said, I talked about Albert Fish earlier. I was like, the children in his orphanage when he was growing up that beat and raped him. Yeah, maybe if they didn't do that, maybe he'd be fine. But at the same time, maybe not.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Some people are
born that way.
Just born bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think is something
there's never going to be a quantifiable. There's going to be cases where there's similarities and you can maybe pinpoint an area, but there's never going to be like a direct recipe for making a monster.
Yeah.
No, I think and it's hard. I think it's a hard pill for some people to swallow, but like there really is that some people are just
fucking crazy,
born monsters. Like you gotta think too. Like even back, like you could take it back to the dawn of the fucking century. You know what I mean? Like you can't, like people can't just sit there and think that like, oh yeah, the people that they were Neanderthals. They just did what they had to do to survive and stuff like that. Like there's guaranteed there was even back then like one guy who's like, I'm gonna invent the wheel, I'm gonna invent fire, and one dude just like, I'm just gonna fucking kill every single fucking person that I come across. You know what I mean? Like,
well, back then in Neanderthal days, they probably fought like over dominance and shit like that. They probably killed each other over that stuff, or like
well, it's no different than what we do now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I still think that like people try to kill each other over dominance and stuff like that, and like rising the food chain and stuff like that. Like, because even like there is documents and stuff of even when we won in World War II. The government took SS officers and hid them and gave them asylum in the U.S. because they wanted to beat communism. And they're like the most anti-communistic people were Nazis. And like, because there's just always that, I think like when it comes to serial killers, it was just that drive of how far can I go? You know what I mean? To get what I wanted. And like, it's no different than like how people it's like a natural human instinct. It's in all of us. You know what I mean? That like anyone could become a serial killer. You know, like, well,
like how me and you were talking about the other day. I feel like a lot of serial killers have like one traumatic thing happen in their lives that pushes them over the edge to kill something.
Yeah.
In most cases, not all the time, it's a traumatic experience. But like how we were talking about, I said, like one thing that's traumatic to me could be fucking nothing to you, but that would be the one thing that pushes me over the edge.
That would be the world to you.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what someone's thinking or what they're dealing with inside their head.
That's why, like,
you could step on my toe and I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, that's like when they talk about like Hitler, like his rise to power.
Yeah.
Germany just got their fucking asses kicked in World War I.
The art school thing.
Yeah, they blamed everything on them. They bankrupted the country, and it just took one guy with a common sense of, yo, fuck everybody else. Let's just fucking kill them all.
Yeah.
And, like, that common thought all those people were at a low point in their lives. And it's, like, one of those things that's, like, for certain people, it's just beaten in their head enough. Like, I guarantee a lot of those people before then didn't think about hurting or killing anyone.
That was also all in the name of nationalism, too.
Yeah.
Yes. And Hitler also knew how to make a speech. He knew how to talk to people and rile people up.
He had great approval ratings. I mean, you never know if they were doctored at the time because it was a totalitarian dictatorship. So you never really know. But the polls were through the roof. It was like 98% approval rating. You know?
When you break it down to human history, it's just like there's really no difference with like when people are like, I can never understand how like a serial killer could do what they did and stuff like that. And it comes down to human nature. It's just if you break someone apart enough, there's just multiple ways they can go.
They're gonna snap.
You know? And some
one
people,
bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some people,
it's all it takes.
It's just
that's the killing joke right there. One bad day.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, probably Son of Sam's who I'd want to deal with.
Well, see, that goes in, I was about to say, that goes into, like, there's also differences, like, Son of Sam was just going around shooting people, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it didn't take much thought, but, like, how do you really decipher BTK's origin and struggles? sexual deviancy, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ted Bundy tried to say it was because of hardcore porn.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you never know. You never know. Like, that could really be the reason, but
Yeah.
that could just be how
you know,
that person.
I can see it. You know, if you're like, if I spend 6 years watching fucking hardcore rape scenario bondage porn and I'm just not getting off to it anymore, it's not enough. I'm gonna be like, well,
I'm gonna go get.
why
the
can't
real
I do it?
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
they do it on here all the time. That's another thing too. I'm sure something like that, once it becomes normal to you, and like now people are gonna be like, oh, so I guess you think video games cause violence?
Yeah.
Like, once something's normalized to you and you can make a way to justify it in your brain, it's
Yeah.
like you're just kind of like, I don't see the big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
But
mean?
at the same time, without video games, the violence would still be there.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, because
100%.
you know we had like the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, every
Yeah.
other fucking war before
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah.
You know,
Serial killers.
It's also like without TV, there would be violence. Without society, there would still be violence.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
highly doubt, you know, Jack the Ripper was like, man, Red Dead Redemption really made me want to go out and kill some people. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it's like I said, like, yeah, some people can be born monsters and some are made.
You guys
You know
think
what I mean?
Jack the Ripper was H.H. Holmes?
I do.
Yeah.
I like to think that.
Yeah.
It would make sense with the time.
Oh,
Well,
apparently he was in the area at the time.
It just
No.
makes sense with
The surgical precision.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Well,
I
they also
want to-
tried to
I-
say it was
I-
a Polish deli clerk or something
I was
like
also
that.
Yeah.
trying, I really wanted to bring H.H. Holmes in this episode too.
Do it.
Oh, there you go. I did.
Yeah, you did.
So,
I'm
do
glad
it.
you did because I was thinking about him, but I mean,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be for me because
See, that's the thing though. With him, he's probably the fucking last one I would want to deal with. Because I walk into a room and I'm like, all right, well, let me go back out
It's
here.
sealed off.
Where's the fucking door?
The oxygen,
Yeah.
the oxygen's leaving the room.
Yeah, like I'm that. Would
You're in a
probably be the
labyrinth. You'd
worst
never be
one.
able to escape.
No,
Yeah.
no, that would suck.
Yeah.
I thought you could go there for tours, but apparently you can't.
No, I think they tore it down.
I think they tore it
Yeah.
down.
Well, they just opened up the Amityville Horror House, I think.
They
Or-
did?
Or no, it was from
That's for sale.
Yeah,
The house is for sale, and they took off the quarter circle windows off the back. So I'm not even. You know what? Not let's just go ahead and say that I can afford it. I ain't even interested in that house because if you ain't got them windows, I'm out.
Yeah,
oh no,
it's
sorry,
not
it's
the original.
The Conjuring.
Oh, Ed and Lorraine Warren's house.
Warrens'
Yeah.
house.
They do museum tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
See
love
the
to do
actual
that.
dog.
Well, no, I'm saying
Oh,
apparently
I'd
you
see
can
that.
stay there now or something like
I
that.
would.
Like they
how
made
I-
it into like a B&B?
Well, because I guess because the Texas Chainsaw House did it.
Well, my
Yeah,
thing,
you
I
know
don't
what I
really
mean?
believe in.
See
all
that's
that.
another
Me neither.
that's another thing though. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know what I mean? Like, what drives someone
Well,
to just
that's based off of Ed Gein.
Ed Gein, yeah.
yeah. But I'm saying like what just drives someone to do it? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I mean, if we're gonna
Well,
break
Ed
down,
Gein was a fucking groomed by his mother his entire life.
Yeah.
Slept in bed with her when he was 30 years old, and she told him how horrible men were because the father left, and just he just was just mentally incompetent to make any. That was just all his mother's fault.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and if we're gonna just break down, I mean, this isn't even
It
real.
all comes
but if-
back to moms.
But if we're gonna break down like Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
What?
like if we're gonna bring Leatherface into it,
Well, I'm
even though
saying-
he's
I'm
not
just saying,
real.
like,
no, but I'm
that-
saying
yeah.
like in how the film sets it up, that was definitely a nurture thing.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That was he was
He was raised to be
he
that
was
way.
raised to be that way because he was deformed
yeah.
and then like slow, like mentally disabled too, I believe.
Yeah.
So it was sort of the environment
Yeah.
Yeah.
that raised him that way.
No.
I mean, obviously none of that's real, but it is based off Ed Gein,
Yeah.
who
I just refer to it as I
Yeah.
mean, for most people that
yeah, most people don't. Yeah, I got
yeah that don't know the story behind the
the actual thing
Yeah.
Yep.
that it's
Yeah.
loosely based off of.
yeah. I mean it's
Ed
crazy.
Gein was crazy. He only killed like 3 people though.
Yeah.
And
It was,
most-
he's not even. I wouldn't even say Ed Gein's a serial killer. He's
Well,
more of a
he-
spree killer.
oh no, he killed
Technically,
within
he's a
the
serial
time
killer.
frame.
Yeah, technically,
The-
he
It's
is.
3 or more. It's 3 or more in a time frame, and he
With
did
a
it in
resting
time.
period in between. His
Yeah.
was pretty sporadic. Like,
But there was a resting.
it wasn't
period.
like I stalked this person, killed them, took 6 months off, and was like, man, I really want to kill again. You know
well,
what
he
I mean?
was he was opportunistic more so.
Yeah.
He would still be classified as serial killer, but he only just barely makes the classification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
3 or more victims with breaks in between, but he was
Yeah.
more opportunistic.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you also got to think too, like if like people like him don't get caught.
I mean, he was fucked up mentally though. I mean,
Yeah.
he was raiding corpses and
Yeah.
doing all sorts of stuff with the
He
bodies.
was a grave robber originally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you got to wonder too. Like if some of these people didn't get caught, like the more famous ones, like how big would their totals be? Like, you know what I mean? Like the dude, like
Edmund Kemper. who just gave himself up.
Yeah.
I mean, no one was finding him.
Yeah.
No,
He
he was friends with the cops.
He could have disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
He was intelligent. His IQ was around the same as...
Rodney Alcala has the highest IQ of the serial killers, though.
Yes.
The dating game killer.
Yeah.
That's wild, by the way.
He was on a
His story
fucking
wild.
game show in the middle of a fucking...
Killing spree.
Yeah, in the middle of a killing spree. And what gets me, which is wild to me, which is, I don't believe in, like, ghosts and, like, hey, I talked to my sister on a Ouija board. Like, no, you didn't. Your friend said hello. I do believe that, like, sometimes when you get a feeling, you could be like, no?
Yeah.
Because the chick, he won, and the chick was like, nah, something about him. I'm not going out with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, nah, I'm good.
I mean,
want
I
no
don't
parts
think
of him.
that... Here's the thing, though. He probably wouldn't have killed her. Because that was on live TV, and he's smart enough to know that he was suspect number one.
Because he was
just
the
on live
last
TV.
one to be with her, yeah. Absolutely.
So I don't think, like, it was smarter for her not to go out with him. But
Oh, yeah.
she would have been safe because
But I think
he was smarter than that.
Yeah, if Ted Bundy didn't kill those girls in Florida, I think he would have got away.
Probably. Jolene, really?
Jolene loves her little squeaky toys,
Little squeaks.
little squeaks.
But yeah,
I mean, because like you think about it,
that guy was
Ted Bundy
definitely ahead of the curve.
Bundy got away from the Northwest all the way down to Florida.
Yeah, he escaped prison with the
Yeah,
You know what
but
I
think
mean?
about it. At that time, too, in that time...
Yeah, they didn't
true.
have fax machines and stuff.
They
like
didn't
that.
have... They couldn't just, like, call and be like, yo, Florida, check it out. We just sent this picture of this guy.
Yeah.
It's already
Yeah,
there.
well, that's what I'm saying. He probably could have got away with it. You know what I mean? For like,
again Emma Kemper.
dude. I
Could've
mean,
easily gone away.
if
with
you-
it.
I think
if
the
you
people
look-
that
if you
were
look at-
active back then, I think they would have been so in their ways of how they did it, and like, oh, I can just get away with it. That as technology advanced, they wouldn't fall. They wouldn't fall.
Oh,
through
he
the cracks. They
eventually
would.
would've
They
got
would got
caught.
caught.
Yeah, the
he
forensics.
eventually would have got
Yeah,
caught.
eventually
They
they would
would've
have.
called
You know,
Yeah.
eventually it would have been. It would everything would have led back to them, and they would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, which makes you wonder in nowadays society.
My
Like
son
the-
Sam got caught
the-
because of a fucking traffic ticket.
Yeah. I'm saying like you gotta think and now that's how Ted Bundy got
Johnny,
caught.
come here.
He got caught from getting stopped.
Yeah.
Both times he got caught, he got stopped by a police officer.
I touched his car.
And
Really?
Yeah, I
Did
touched
you?
his car.
Nice.
Nice. Like you gotta think too like how crazy because there's still serial killers out there. Obviously still like what is it? What's the thing that there's
9 active serial killers
at all times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you gotta think too like how dangerous they gotta be to know in a day and age where everything's on camera, how they elude nowadays. You know what I mean?
Well, people nowadays, it's people are used to it. They know what to look for.
They
and
know where cameras are. They
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
out for them.
I mean, yeah, they're all of them were always products of their society, no matter what. Even if they were born bad, because they knew what was going on in the society at the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot harder than John Mulaney has a good bit about this actually about people in the before all that. It's like, oh, there's a pool of the killer's blood right here. Well, I got this hunch
Yeah.
because like they just didn't have the technology back then. But now it's like, if there's a serial killer out there, they know they gotta be clean.
Mm-hmm.
They know
Yeah.
they gotta scrub everything.
Yep.
Maybe they have to wear some sort of protective something so like no fingerprints or no
Yeah.
DNA was left behind, or definitely have a place where they do the killing
Yeah.
that wouldn't get searched. Body placement, body disposal. Yeah. Like a band name I know, Body Disposal. Yeah, look them up, Facebook. Anyway,
A not up and coming band.
not up and coming band. But no, but
More
it's
like down and going. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know it's spiraling out of control already. But no, but it's about people know. Like you could think like Des, I'm sure like if you thought about it, you could think of a way like to maybe get around it in your head, and it could possibly work.
Yeah, but I know I'd
when
probably
come-
get caught
Yeah, well, I'm sure
eventually.
everyone have some like all those killers know at some point they're gonna get found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even no matter how delusional they are,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure somewhere down in the recesses of their mind they know that they're probably gonna get caught.
Oh yeah.
But it's about not caring at that point.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I think that's
Very
what
true.
I think
The
that's
the act is a greater reward than the punishment.
I could
for them.
never think about
No.
killing someone.
like
I'm out of that one.
I mean, that's just.
I get
lame.
cut off when I think about just massacring.
like it's
I mean, I thought about hurting people, but never like actually murdering someone.
yeah.
I wouldn't have the balls to do it.
No comment.
No comment. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Um,
But I think it's also very human
Yeah.
I think it's common for people to think about killing people too. Like,
yeah, it's just that
it's
those people
fucked
that
up to
actually
say.
act
It
on
is
those
fucked
but
up.
thoughts.
there's people
Yeah.
that like I would never do it, but I've thought about it. And,
Yeah.
like either people that wronged me or just in general.
Yeah.
But I would never do it.
Yeah. There's definitely it's definitely a human thing where someone could push someone to the edge where that's like the thought that comes in their mind. It's just like I just would rather never see this person again.
Even not getting pushed, you could just be having a bad day, and then someone inconveniences you, like, and cuts in front of you in line at ShopRite, and you think about dismembering them because of it. I mean, you wouldn't, but the thought just crosses your mind because you're just so angry at something.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. It's a crazy concept, and I think that's what fascinates people. Is just that because
it's like the most extreme thing that could go on in your mind.
Yeah.
In the dark recesses of your mind, and like these people have done some of those things,
Yeah.
or have done things that you just would never be able to do yourself, and it's like being attracted to a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like watching fire. Like, why do we build fires? Like, it's nice to be around a fire, but like, fire's destructive in nature.
Absolutely. But if
Yeah.
it's controlled, it's okay.
Adrenaline junkie. Well, yeah, if it's controlled, it's okay. But that's a human thing.
The
to think you
second
could,
it's not.
That's a human thing too. To think you could control nature, control
Yeah.
something in nature.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
The wrong brush of wind could go up in a campfire. Next thing you know, the whole entire forest is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like I think that's a big part of it too. Is the control aspect? Is that
Oh, it's definitely a control aspect of a lot of these people.
the control over life and death?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's some it's like a god complex thing. The others is
Yeah.
just the fact that you could get away with it for so long, or
Yeah.
get away with it once.
Yeah.
Some of it's just that the plan concocted actually succeeded,
Yeah.
and that's the whole rush in it.
Yeah.
Those are your more premeditated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your spree killer doesn't really think about that because they're just
No.
going on a killing spree.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath.
Well, those aren't even relevant terms anymore. Though.
Well, no, but okay, fine. Let's.
Let's getting fucking technical. Here.
No, but you are right. But
A
like,
psychopath is just or a sociopath is just like I'll just do it. Fuck it, no premeditation. A psychopath is like, well,
Yeah.
that's why I laugh when people are like, what a fucking psychopath. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
There's two kinds of things.
sociopathy was more so no emotion.
Yeah, opportunity.
Opportunity. Psychopath was the same sort of way, just
More thought out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just wild. It's
Cover your
wild.
tracks.
it's like American Psycho would probably be more psychopath than
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's something. What would you consider?
But
like,
but whenever you hear about him, they call him a sociopath. It's funny
Yeah.
actually.
what would you think of like Aaron Hernandez?
Aaron Hernandez.
He just liked dudes.
What line?
I don't even know if he was really.
He just liked dudes.
I don't know if he was a sociopath at all.
No, he was a victim of fucking concussions.
But no, I'm saying like the to be able to like kill two people and then the next day you're out on the field.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's because his brain was fucking mush.
Well,
and
I
your
mean, if you kill
decision
two
making and
people-
justification abilities are wildly clouded. You want to
Yeah.
fucking sit on my lap?
No, she wants her toy. I took it from her.
Yeah.
But, like, with Aaron Hernandez, like, if you kill two people the day before a big fucking game and you don't show up, that's suspicious. Of course he's going to go to the football game and play his football game.
Well, it also has
And
everything to
act
do with.
normal. He's going to live his
It
life.
also has everything to do with his decision making skills.
It's also
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also like a big dick thing too, like a big dick complex thing, like a dick measuring complex thing, like always being the tough guy. And now he killed two people, he feels like the tough guy out there.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
He probably felt, like, empowered that he was
Because
out there.
I mean, if you look at what he did that game, he was
I don't
great
watch-
for fantasy football.
I don't watch football.
Yeah, he had numbers, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. But
Jolene.
Joe,
She's trying to jump on everyone's lap right
I
now.
know. It's just
Yeah, and
trying-
everyone's just like, no.
Yeah. No.
no, you could have that squeaky toy when we're done, young lady.
Yeah. It's a favorite thing in the world.
I know that and a cone around her neck.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
I know.
Denied.
Denied.
I didn't even push you off.
The
I
cone
just-
deflected her.
Okay, I'll just hold you.
Nah.
But yeah,
No.
that's just the difference. I wouldn't consider him to be a sociopath though, because he was definitely out of anger.
Nah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you got like the guy that was always famous for a long time, the Dark Knight, the guy who fucking shot up everyone at the Dark Knight.
Oh, what was his name? You know his name, man.
Who?
The guy who shot at the Dark Knight.
What
Dark
is it?
Knight screening.
Oh, James Holmes.
Yeah.
James Holmes. There you go. Like That I feel like.
By the way, just for this, he was not dressed up as the Joker.
No.
No.
Yeah.
He just dyed his hair orange.
And that's not even the Joker's color.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was just all shock factor and sensationalization.
Yeah.
Actually, another thing I did see, I saw clothes and a bag from that shooting in person with like bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
I saw it in
It's
person.
wild. It's wild that people. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's wild. It's not wild that people are fascinated by it because it's like we said, like it's for normal people. It's like what could drive someone to do that, and that's what
I've seen a lot of
fucking
wild
love.
shit in person now I think about it.
Yeah.
I've seen the letters written by Albert Fish in person.
Yeah.
I have read handwritten letters from Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I have seen dirt from under John Wayne Gacy's house. They had Richard Ramirez's hair when I went to Museum of Death. Saw Charles Manson's prison shirt, guitar.
I got to see wild things all from one person who was a friend of ours, his friend. I'm not going to go into too much detail about who it is, but he had a correspondence with a couple serial killers and Charles Manson. He did the serial killer coloring books.
Yeah.
He has letters that he had with Gacy, Manson, Richard Ramirez.
That's another thing I've seen. I've seen.
I got to see those. I got to hold a Gacy in my hand.
I saw John Wayne Gacy's paintings in person too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And I got to see sketches from all of them because he has all the originals from when he made the coloring book.
Oh wow.
yeah.
I saw G.G. Allen's clothes that he died in person.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's fucking.
It's just interesting to it's like watching a train wreck. It's just interesting to watch something.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff you really don't deal with every day.
Yeah.
Like you see, it's one thing to see
Unless
it
you live in Brazil.
in movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brazil's just a fucking lawless place that's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, yo, kill or be killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think they're watching a bunch of serial killer documentaries? No,
No.
they're living it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. We will probably never deal with a serial killer. Right, ever.
Knock on wood.
Statistically, there's no wood around
No.
for you to knock on.
Not that you know of, man.
Yeah.
What you think we've been talking about, boy?
But no, statistically, you won't deal with that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
Odds of you being chained up in someone's basement are very, very low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see different things on TV, like when you watch Criminal Minds and stuff. That's not real. Some of them are based on real things, but that's not real. So
Yeah.
it's different when you see something that was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Criminal Minds is just basically an assembly line. Like, this one got caught, here comes this one caught, this one caught, this
Yeah.
one.
Well,
just
it's a show, you
It's
know?
just like the door
Yeah.
opens are like, yo, he's done. All right, I'm up, fellas. I'll see you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
the
a
problem.
TV show.
Yeah.
That's the problem too. Thing with how when they break down serial killers, they have such a specific checklist. You know what I mean? And then where mass shootings, they'll be like, there was this many. You know what I mean? But there's really not. You know what I mean? Where the ones you think of is the guy who shot up Vegas, people who shoot up schools, Columbine.
That one concert
That one concert, the
where
Ariana
people
Grande
were
concert.
recording and people were
Dylan Roof
dead,
who shot up
yeah.
a church
Yeah.
and shit like that. But it's weird because it's not I think in a way, it's not that there isn't like serial killers aren't as big of a thing as there was. I think they're much harder to catch now.
Yeah.
But I feel like the mass shooting thing is just
Or
a
they're-
different form.
Or they're
of
also
it.
easier to catch because you'll hear stories about the first one and how they were sloppy.
Yeah.
But they got away with it at the time because, the technology wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now if you're sloppy,
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah,
you're
they
done.
can
So,
catch it.
it's also harder. I mean, it's harder to start out as a serial killer today.
Yeah.
Poor them. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
You gotta
it's,
do
it's either
more
you're
shit.
you're so good at it already, you're an expert because you've thought about it so meticulously,
Yeah.
or you get caught because you were sloppy your first time.
Yeah. And that's what
That's why mass shootings they're not that's not a serial kill, that's a spree kill.
Yeah.
But
But,
it's just a
I'm-
one and done. They always get caught.
Yeah, but that's
They
what I'm saying.
always get caught.
I'm wondering, but I'm saying I'm wondering if in this point in this day and age where
In hours.
in hours that's our serial killers. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's more bodies behind them.
The sprees. You know what I mean?
It's
that
a
was
different- it's
that's
a
a
different
product of
thing.
our generation. You know what I mean?
It's the easiest way to get mass amount of bodies at once,
Yeah.
but you're getting caught. There's
Yeah.
never been a case where there was a school shooting they got away.
Yeah, how the fuck are you gonna get away?
Yeah.
It's really not.
Or not even just school shooting because there's also the nightclub shooting and all that. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
mass
Any mass
shooting where
shooting.
anyone got away for longer than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even the Boston bomber got fucking caught.
No.
Like, not that fucking long before fucking...
It's good that Bernie Sanders wants him to be able to vote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for that.
Nah. It's crazy that, like, you know, and a crazy thing, too, is a guy I was in class with through my apprenticeship, his daughter was there. And the picture they took was at the same spot the bomb went off, like, a couple minutes before. And he showed me the picture. He's like, you know, it's fucking crazy. My daughter was there, like, 5 minutes before the bomb went off.
That is pretty crazy, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you see it, like, the same fucking... The same shot.
The same section of street.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, and you gotta wonder,
She's
though,
lucky.
like, would
Yeah.
they...
She survived. She's lucky.
Yeah.
Really.
Would they have been...
If they got caught up in traffic, or if someone decided to stay
would've
there
died.
a
Yeah.
little later,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
something, you know?
You have to
Yeah.
wonder, like, would they have done it again if they didn't get caught? You know what
The
I
mass
mean?
shooters?
No, the guys that... No, the Boston bombing, because they weren't, like, out in the open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
They
I
got
don't
caught. They didn't get. They were the longest ones, I think. They didn't get caught. They didn't get caught for a couple days or something like that, right?
I don't know.
I remember one got caught hiding in a
No, it
boat.
was very fast.
It was fast, but it wasn't like school shooting an hour later
No, no,
fast.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been like a day or two.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because it was probably a couple days. Because I remember for the longest time, everyone was like, "It was the Navy SEAls, dude." Everyone had the Punisher hat. Like everyone thought it was
Yeah.
the Navy SEAls that did it first.
Yeah.
And they had the pictures of the guy on the building, and this guy
Yeah.
had this hat and that hat. So I think it was actually a couple days,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I'm not
Which
mistaken.
that's what I'm like. I wonder like if they were in the making of becoming serial killers. Like they. I feel like they had the intention to do it again.
No, I don't think they would be serious. I think they were just extremists. I don't think they would have been like, man, that was a hell of a thing. Let's wait in this bush at Central Park and grab the first person we see. They would have just been like, hey, we got away with it once. Let's do another bombing.
Yeah.
They would have just been just a terrorist. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Were they from? Weren't they American? Or no, they weren't. I don't remember.
They're American, but they'd be considered
They were
terrorist
American in the
extremists.
sense that they lived in America, but
Yeah.
I think they were Russian.
They weren't from America.
Wasn't he Russian or something? What was he?
no, it wasn't Russian.
He was-
Let's look it up on
I
Google.
think he was some sort
Yeah.
of Slavic nation. I don't know why. Maybe just the look of him.
Yeah. But yeah. No. I mean, like.
I mean, to tell you how sensationalized it all was, I mean, he was on the cover of fucking Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
You know, like right after that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
He was of Chechen descent.
Yeah, Slavic. Okay.
That's all. Like because didn't it turn out to be a hoax or something? The chopped up body they found in Philly. Did that turn out to be a hoax?
I'm
or
not
something?
sure. I'm not
What?
sure.
I
I
remember
can
that-
tell you. I can tell you now. The hookers they found behind a liquor store in Atlantic City. They believe that's linked to the Long Island serial killer.
Do they?
Recently.
It was years ago, but they think it's the same person.
Well, I mean that's
I
still
believe
pretty
that. It's
recent.
I mean, it's
Close.
close.
Yeah.
Geographically, it's
Yeah.
close.
It's only
Yeah.
what 2-3 hour drive for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. A
Yeah.
lot of
and it
people
was
go
a
to
couple.
Atlantic
It
City.
was all prostitutes, which is what he kills. They kill.
Yeah.
Could be that whole town involved. No one knows.
Yeah.
No
Could
one
be a
knows.
group of people.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's one of the theories. It could
Yeah.
also be some people believe it's a retired police officer
Yeah.
because he has knowledge
Who
of police
killed?
procedure.
Maybe.
Oh, that was Golden State Killer.
Mm.
That killed what's his face's wife, that actor's wife. He was in King of Queens. That comedic actor,
Kevin James.
not Kevin James. The one guy, I can't remember his name. He's awesome. He's in that show Happy. He was in Dodgeball. He was the referee.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about. Well, Ashton
I
Kutcher.
don't know his name.
He went to pick someone up for a date, and she was getting killed while he was not at the door.
What?
Yeah, you don't know about that?
No.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher went to pick up someone for a date, and while he was knocking on the door, they think she was getting murdered
Wow.
in her apartment while he was outside waiting for her.
Wow.
Yeah,
Did they catch him?
Fucking
I think they did. Yeah, but they were looking at. I think it was Ashton Kutcher. I'm pretty sure.
What was that guy's name? It's like Patrick something.
All right. Well, because this didn't make the news. Because I looked it up about the Because I don't remember if people called it a hoax or something like that, but they found out a chopped up body in a trash bag in Philly or something like that, and they
Patton Oswalt. Patton
Patton
Oswalt's
Oswalt. Yeah,
wife got killed
yeah.
by the Golden State Killer. That
really
was it. That was it. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
no shit.
That's
I
when
never
he-
even
he-
heard about that.
That was like. That was a while ago now. What, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Yeah.
Or maybe not as long. He put out a special like a year after he was talking about just losing his wife.
Yeah, they called the guy that killed Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend. But yeah, apparently he was either at the door or she was dead inside already when he was.
But
at
it
the
was
door
close
or
to the
something like
time
that. But it
that
was
he-
around the time that he was there.
That's crazy.
But they caught the guy that did it.
This is Patsy. Ashton Kutcher did it. Someone needs to take a fall.
And this is like woman's body found in South Philly basement. Yeah, the decomposing body in the South. But I think they arrested people for that.
I mean, it's Philly. That's right.
Yeah.
And Gritty's out here punching kids.
You know, it literally took this New Year. It took like 20 minutes for the first murder in Philly.
Yeah, where it says like body missing teen found in bin in South Philadelphia amid human trafficking. That's what like you gotta wonder too is that like a city like Philly, because I'm like this was in May. Woman's body found wrapped in plastic bag inside trash can. And they found her in Frankfurt.
It's hard to believe there's only 9 active at one time too. By the way, I think that's just like a common number.
Yeah, that's probably just like
because there's like 500 million people. Okay.
Yeah.
And like a serial killer, you think of like a depraved person, but something like Son of Sam, who's more of a spree killer, but
Ted
Son of Sam.
Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like they shot him, so like people who just like have killed 4 or 5 people over the course of a while.
Would you consider
Shooting
gang
them.
members that pull up a lot of
that's what I'm saying. Like they
Yeah.
are serial killers by definition.
in a sense,
Yeah. No,
And,
see,
and their MO is either other people, other gang members, or just
Yeah.
people who fucked with their group.
Yeah, they found the person with
It's a
with
technicality.
they found the
It's not
person
what you
with the
think of.
body
Well, I mean,
in
they're
the
considered.
basement. It's actually a woman.
Richard Kuklinski's
Not-
labeled
woman-
serial
a
killer,
woman
and he was a
killed.
mob hitman.
Yeah.
A woman killed that one in the,
He was
in the
but
basement.
he sort of fit that mold more of also being completely psychotic. Like gang members aren't necessarily shoving credit cards up people's asses.
You know.
See,
But
that's
they're
what,
still killing people.
They're still killing people. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's just like when people think of a serial killer, they also think of
Sexual.
depravity,
Yeah.
some sort of depravity in the
Yeah.
act. But like Son of Sam,
well,
was just
that's
shooting
more
people.
than never mind. That's more than 6 months apart. Because the body that was found wrapped in a plastic bag in Philly last year was in May, and they just found another one in January of this year. But they think it's human trafficking or whatever. But I mean, like, they found someone's body chopped up not even a year ago. Same MO of like, you know what I mean, wrapped in a trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and thrown in a trash bin. And then all of a sudden, like,
Yeah.
there's another. I mean, it's kind of hard to like say like someone doesn't fit the same MO. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
they were speculating like, does Philly have
It's
a
just-
serial killer?
It's like just one of those things. It's because like when people think of serial killer, like when I think like when I ask you to name serial killers, Boo, just name a few. Name a few serial killers for me.
I don't know. Albert Fish, John Wayne Gacy. Goddamn, I'm on the spot, so I can ask him to name a good heavy band. Pedro Lopez, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer.
We'll just end with those. Okay, all the core things when you think about those people, they're sexually
Coral
depraved.
Eugene Watts.
Sexually depraved.
Yep.
Depraved acts of torture and mutilation. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what people think of when they think
Not
of serial
just
killer.
deaths, but
People
brutal
don't really
deaths.
think of not just deaths, brutal deaths. That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it. That's not by definition what it is.
Well, people, when they think of a serial killer, they think of your movie killer.
yeah.
The creepy guy with the fucking bugged out eyes,
Yeah.
sweating all the time.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, this is like
That's
two.
Like the
not
guy
how it
from
is.
13 Cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like within. It's obviously over the 6 month period, but like,
That's probably what makes fucking Psycho so scary, is Norman Bates.
Yeah.
So normal.
yeah. But I'm saying like the guy. So there's been like there's 2 bodies that they found that they have no idea who did it. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
No,
We
that's
got
okay.
2 on this one, boy.
Yeah.
Also, this isn't a political thing. Before this happens, but the main inspiration for American Psycho, like Patrick Bates, was actually Donald Trump, and just that era of Wall Street being a Wall Street shark
I
back
can
in
see
the
that.
day.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the
They mention it a couple times in the book, like I saw Donald Trump, like, and stuff, and I think they say in the show too, like, was that Donald Trump's cab?
Yeah.
It's just a thing that
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make that into a
He
political
was so
statement.
fit. Yeah, because
I just think that's interesting. And
around
It is.
yeah, because around that time he
Well,
was
he
in
was-
Home Alone and the
he
New
was
York movie.
around that time when that was written. He was the embodiment of like that slick Wall Street
Yes.
sort of personality.
Yeah.
Rappers rapped about him, like,
You know what
trying
I'm
to be
saying?
Donald
Like he
Trump.
Yeah.
that doesn't. I'm not vilifying.
That was before like Trump University.
I
and all
wasn't.
that stuff.
That's not me vilifying Trump. Like I'm not saying that he is Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
No, I would
No.
never say that.
No.
I'm saying
He was
it's just
inspired.
it's just an interesting fact.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
was it? Like the 80s, 90s to like Trump.
80s.
Trump was like the
80s
he was the top dog
cocaine
that
fuel
like
80s.
everyone wanted to be Trump
Yeah.
at that time. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
he was one of the self-made men in America, as they put it all the time.
Really,
Small loan of
I mean,
$1
really,
million.
hate him or love him, I really don't care. But
Yeah.
right now, I mean, he's still sort of coming. He's literally president of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, really, if you think about it objectively, you don't get all your heads all this politics. I don't care about that
Yeah.
shit.
Neither do I.
And I'm not vilifying. I'm not for or against nothing.
Yeah.
But like,
Your fucking cart collecting job at Walmart does not make you a political fucking force
like
of
think
intelligence.
about that though. He's ascended to such a state where he is actually president of the United States.
I still
Yeah.
can't believe
with
it.
no political background.
Yeah.
I still don't understand.
He's just been a
how
hot
that
topic
happened.
for years. I mean, he had his own TV show, The fucking Apprentice.
I like that show.
You're
I love that
fired.
show.
You're
Yeah.
Like it or not, man, America's a business.
It
Oh,
is.
absolutely.
It is. But that's what I'm saying too. Like, getting back to the Philly thing, like I wonder if there really is an active serial killer in Philly. You know what I mean?
Probably is.
Two bodies
Yeah,
the same way.
I
And
wouldn't
because
be surprised.
people who know Philly, all right, there's people who know Philly and people who don't know Philly. We're not like if you actually drive around Philly, not just to the fucking stadium and shit like that. It
Or
would
that like section of spray paint right over the bridge that
Yeah.
everyone takes a picture in front
Yeah.
of. Oh my
There-
god, Philly nights! Like you walked like 20 feet into the city.
number one.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Philly is huge.
Yeah. it
And
is.
number two, there's because we played plenty of shows in Philly and stuff like that. There's a lot of fucking places you'd never catch a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And like
Or if you're not from Philly, you
for someone to
you
fit
wouldn't
the
know.
same MO twice, like I can see them like trying to discredit it as, oh yeah, you know what I mean? It's just human trafficking. You know what I mean?
Well, those people are serial killers.
Yeah,
Probably by definition.
Yeah.
They kill people while human trafficking.
Yeah,
and in the
absolutely.
Like, they are technically serial killers, but you look at them more as human traffickers. You don't say serial killer.
yeah.
There's a whole
Well,
psychology
I
behind
mean,
it.
for the
Yeah,
human
it is.
trafficking thing, there's always someone who takes them and someone who buys them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like
Yeah, but not all of them make it. And
That's
there's
true.
Probably one guy that deals with them.
Yeah.
The people that don't make it.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that person would technically be a serial killer by definition, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't call them a serial killer.
yeah,
We call them just their
sex
charges
trafficker.
would be just a murderer and a human trafficker.
yeah,
And in our heads, we would consider that a human trafficking bust and not a serial killer bust.
yeah,
That's just a whole psychology thing behind it.
yeah. But
We're
it's
just
one
getting
of those-
technical.
yeah.
Yes.
We're at the point in this cast where we're getting technical.
Yeah,
now.
I'm just saying, like, it is one of those things I wonder that what if it is
In
just
6
one guy?
minutes, the table's going to get flipped and someone's going to be pointing and yelling.
Well, I think, yeah.
No! No!
That's not true.
True, yeah.
The fuck do you... Go back to...
It almost happened when I was like, what was it? Sociopaths and psychopaths aren't real.
Yeah.
That almost
Yeah.
happened right there. We almost flipped the table because I got a little technical.
No, I think it's one of those things that maybe we'll probably end up following, and at some point in our life, if it does turn to be something more, even because it's right over the bridge. You know what I mean?
It's like 30 minutes away from us.
and that's one of those things you
If
gotta.
that.
That's one of
Yeah.
those things you gotta wonder that like maybe there's more that they didn't catch.
No, there's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
more they didn't catch.
If whoever this person is just putting them in trash cans, you know what I mean? Like, and they've only found 2.
I mean,
Like, if that's the MO of like I just throw them in a trash can, like how many just did like because now they got those.
Well, I'm dead, just throw me in a trash.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're telling me that all gang-related violence is all in the gangs, I think you're wrong. And I think there's someone that's also killing gang members because they know it'll get pegged as a gang-related violence.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
It's an easy out.
there's probably
Yeah.
a serial killer that's killing gang members.
Dexter out there.
yeah, and he's
just
just
because you can get away with it. 'cause
And then his
people
head-
are looking
Well,
at other gangs.
It's like when
rival
people
gangs.
go to Skid Row and kill a fucking homeless person and then just throw them in the dumpster and keep it going. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, it's hard, like it or not, cops look at that, they're like, oh, what happened? Found him. Open shut case, man. Another homeless guy. We'll never find him.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of it is looked at that way. Like, you're going to tell me that, oh, look, this known gang member who's in and out of jail for drugs and domestic assault and whatever it may be. I can guarantee you, most cops, when it happens, are like, oh, yeah, chalk it up to gang violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, drive-by shooting from the North Side Crips, so whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to go, it's human trafficking, and not, man, there's a guy out there killing
Killing women.
people, killing women, and stuffing them in trash cans.
I mean, there's a
You know?
People get away with that all the time. I'm not going to name names here, but I do know a case, and the person is behind bars now.
Yeah.
But like for years, was killing homeless people in AC.
Yeah.
Burned down Moore's Pier when that burned down to hide the body.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
He's in custody. But I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name how I know of the person.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like one of those things you don't look twice at until you get caught. You know?
Yeah.
Until they
Yeah.
get caught because they accidentally get caught, and that's how
Yeah.
it happened. Accidentally got caught.
Yeah.
You know,
It's wild. This
Yeah.
world's wild.
Yes,
the
it
world's
is.
wild.
So if you've learned anything from this episode,
It's that don't trust anybody, be scared at all times. But statistically, you're going to be fine.
And also that I would rather deal with the Zodiac than anybody else. No,
No.
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
I forget who
Yeah.
I said I wanted to deal with.
No.
We're just gonna go with Son of Sam.
No.
Quick shot to the head in the car while you're making out with someone,
No.
No.
or like waiting for something.
Yeah, quick and painless.
Yeah, fine.
No.
I'll go with Zodiac because you know what? At least I'm getting some like I'm grabbing a boob right before I get shot in the head.
No.
Son of Sam, you're just like sitting there like eating Wawa, and you're just like bow.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'll go with let's wrap it back to the last hour.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Zodiac because I get a handful of boob, and then all of a sudden I'm don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I think I said Richard Kuklinski because
Yeah.
it's usually passionless and it's usually quick.
No.
And sometimes it's painless sometimes.
And without emotion,
No.
Yeah, it's just without emotion. There's no
joyless and without sensation.
yeah, pretty much not much torture unless it was deemed that this person should be tortured. And I don't think I've done anything worth torturing yet.
No.
No, I don't.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, whoever would be just quick and painless, I just think they just that would be the
Yeah, I
damn
don't wanna
case.
be
I've been the most
tortured.
pissed off I was killed by Eileen Mornos, and I'm willing to deal with the Zodiac shooting me while I'm making out with someone.
No.
There's my 2 cents.
No.
Ron
No.
Burgundy.
Ron
I'm
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
So you stay classy.
Stay
Mother
classy.
Earth.
Yes.
And next time we're going to talk about probably something lighter.
Yeah, probably something lighter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to go into suicide for 30 minutes.
Yeah. No. Like I said, talk to people. Don't
Yeah.
go to the internet
Yes,
for.
yes, that's important. Talk to people. There's always other ways out, but at the same time, you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.
Ron Burgundy.
Bye.
Ron Burgundy.